Oh, we've got people in already. Wow, that's fast. I've just knocked my switch over. 1 second. How's it going, guys? I thought I would jump on here, but it's probably a good idea to have a bit of a chat over the last couple of days. I'm just going to try and get a good position of this because my angle was awful. That's a bit better. Yeah, so I thought I'd jump on this morning and... Oh, I'm wonky now. So I've got this really janky thing holding my phone up. I used to have a better one, but I can't find it anywhere. But yeah, I thought I'd jump on today and we can have a chat about what's been happening in the last couple of days. I'm not really going to talk too much. I'm here if you guys have any questions about what's going on. I think I've explained a lot of what's happened, and I don't really need to go into any more details, but if there's anything you guys want to talk about and ask questions about, that's what I thought I would do today, because it's a very confusing situation. There's lots of emails, there's lots of chat and stuff going on, so I thought I would just come on here and clarify some bits if you guys want to know a bit more. So got messages coming in. So Beverly says good morning. Good morning, how's it going, Beverly? Julie, good morning, and Diane, good morning as well to you. So yeah, like I said, it's literally going to be sort of me jumping on here as an opportunity to sort of answer some questions and sort of go over any details you're not too sure about. Hey, you've got Ant in the chat as well. I do have mods turned on today, and that's purely because of the fact that I have a feeling over the last few days there's going to be some people that have jumped on from other channels. So I've got mods on. I don't usually have mods on, but they are there basically to make sure that nobody puts out personal information about anyone, not just me, but other people involved as well. Because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be sharing that stuff online, and that's what we're concerned about. Right, so Beverly says, "Come on, Nath, get your shredded wheat in the bowl and get on with your get on with your what? What are you on about? Shredded wheat in the bowl and get on with your fans." Completely lost. Read the email this morning. Had no idea what's been going on. Morning, gutted. I'm going to miss this, but ooh. But got a job interview. Well, good luck for your job interview. Have a good day. I'll watch it later. No problem. Morning. Good morning. How do you feel about the pain and hurt you caused a local Bath family? Right. Mods, can we have Guide 504 removed because he is a troll? I said I'm not dealing with him. So we will have Guide 504 please removed. Like I said, we're not dealing with any crap today. So anyone who's going to cause issues is just going to get removed. So, yeah. Just remove Guide 504, please. Ban. Thank you. Right. So, like I said, I'm not dealing with shit today. I'm really not. I'm not in the mood. The last couple of days, I've had crap thrown at me while I've not really said very much. So, let me just start at the beginning. 1 second. Sorry. I've got a couple of things popping up. So, the thing started basically where there's been... At first, it was screenshots of Urbex with Taffy and the Secret Vault. There was 2 separate incidents that were shared on Facebook a while ago. One was them going to the Hovercraft Museum in Portsmouth, which isn't abandoned, but they broke in there. Well, I said not broke in, they kind of went in there. They found their way into the compound and were on the hovercrafts, etc. That was one of the things. Then this other one sort of showed up where there were screenshots of Taffy holding a camera, pointing at his face, and some other things about them breaking equipment. Now, for a while, the security company had contacted police. They weren't allowed to give out details because it was an ongoing investigation. That has, as far as I'm aware, I don't know the details exactly, but as far as I'm aware, that has since been dropped based on the fact there wasn't enough evidence. They then released footage of the incident itself, which shows what appears to be, and I'm going to choose my words very carefully here, so what appears to be Matt's going up and pulling wires out of a CCTV camera, and then somebody, not Taffy, it was the other guy who was with them, I can't remember his name, but he went up and just checked the wires. So that's one bit of footage. The next bit of footage shows Matt sort of just stood in front of the camera. Can't really tell what he's doing, but if you look on his video, you can kind of tell he's having a wee, basically. And then we see the camera come down off of wherever it was, and it's held in Taffy's hands, and then the camera cuts. So that is the incident. Now, I made a post on my Facebook and on my YouTube saying that I didn't agree with that. If that is exactly, I used the words "if that's true," because there are always two sides to a story. There's always the side that, you know, we've got from the security company. There's the side from Taffy and Matt, which is why I have invited both of them onto the show. Matt's obviously, you've seen the replies that Matt's said. Taffy hasn't replied in the slightest, apart from which I'll get onto a video which Matt made of him calling my work. Well, it's not my work, but he thinks it's my work, and trying to get me in trouble for that. He made a comment on that, which was like, "Oh, it's really funny," etc. But apart from that, I've emailed him. He hasn't replied at all. So anyway, that's the situation. So I made a post on my YouTube denouncing him and saying that this is disgusting. All right, so if it's true, and I did say if it's true, this is disgusting, because at the end of the day, it's criminal damage. So what we do is civil trespass. When you start damaging things, doing illegal things on site, then it becomes criminal trespass. And that is what I called out. I literally said, this is not on, this is not great, but it's not a one-sided argument. I'm happy to have you guys on and to chat with you, with the security company, and act as a media between. So that's what sparked this all off. And obviously the emails you guys have seen. Let me just catch up with the chat because I'm missing comments. Sorry, I know am I in front of it? No, the camera's that side. It's okay. Beverly says we might grind out soon. B, hello. Flying Zebra is he out of bed? I'm in bed. This is my bed. Hovercraft place was bad, especially shouting at truckers behind the fence. Legend has it, Tazer does the best work in bed. Haunted, no evidence. Right, so Haunted Coachman, at the end of the day, right, I will apologise for my comment yesterday. I think my comment was maybe a bit harsh. But having said that, the evidence I have shown, I've never said that there is criminal damage. I've just turned around and said, this is what happened. If it is true, if you look at the wording, it says, if it is true, this is disgusting. And I challenge anybody at all, to turn around and tell me that if they didn't rip down wires and they didn't rip down a camera, why is it in their hand and why is it shown on the footage? Let me ask you a question. I asked Matt this same question as well in the emails. You can see it. Do you think the act of putting down CCTV equipment is disgusting? Simple question, yes or no. If you think yes, then there's an issue. If you think no, I'm not really sure why you think no, because it is a criminal act. It is criminal damage. So at the end of the day, whether I'm saying something's happened or not, the footage is there for you to see, and it could quite easily be cleared up as well. If, for example, Matt does have a video on this, he's put a video up, and there's a very suspicious cut right before the moment where he's supposed to pull the CCTV footage out, right? If he releases that footage showing that he didn't do that, I will apologise. But in his own video, there is a cut right there that's very suspicious, and it's there for a reason. Most of his video isn't cut in the slightest. Hardly any of it is cut. It's pretty much uncut. I have no issues whatsoever with the rest of the video. None of it. All right? But that cut there, if he showed the footage and showed us that there's no cut there because he's pulled something out, I will apologise. It's very, very simple. It's not me saying something. The footage is there for you to see. Right, hang on. We all know it's true just because there isn't enough evidence to the police. Ooh, I'm going to have to unsubscribe. I mean, if you want to unsubscribe, go ahead. I'm really not bothered. At the end of the day, I've not shared anything at all. Apart from the emails, I've not shared anything that isn't readily available online already. So it's not like I'm making this up. This is already there. Camera's hanging on the wire. Taffy looked on the camera, that's all. Taffy wasn't actually the one who looked at the camera, it was somebody else. Sorry, do you mean the camera that's hanging? Again, Taffy is apparently doing a video tomorrow, I think it is, which is going to explain it, and he is going to release, he says GoPro footage of the incident, which is fine. I mean, if he's got GoPro footage and he can prove it, I'll apologise to him. That's fine. But at the same time, Matt could do the same thing as well. He has the footage. He's obviously recorded the whole thing. He could do the footage. He could show you the footage and prove his innocence. And I challenge him to do that. If he can do that, go ahead and do it, and I will apologise. But at the same time, if you're not going to prove quite easily you can prove that with that bit of footage you both have. What are the rest of us supposed to think? I mean, there's it's not me making this up. I'm not making up stuff. This is all stuff that's online. The fact someone would video themselves doing that and then make it public says a lot about the mentality, really. Hello. Defamation of character is also a criminal offence. Sad times. Are you making it up? How am I making it up? At the end of the day, you can see the footage. I'm only commenting on what's in the footage. That isn't made up. The footage isn't fictional. The footage, which is linked on my community tab, is there for everyone to see. There's a link to the video. Check it out. There's no monetization on that, by the way. I haven't put any monetization on it because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to make money off of the video at all. When it's not my footage anyway, it's obviously Matt's footage, linked with the security company's footage. Go and check it out. At the end of the day, I'm not making that up. The footage is there. I'd just like to know what else is going on. So, I mean, there's not... I've just gone through it a minute ago. Like I said, today isn't about me explaining stuff. Today is about me answering a few questions from people, because at the end of the day, I understand there's two sides to every story. And this is why I'm saying, this is the footage we have. If you can prove it with other footage, if you can prove from your side of things that that's wrong, I will apologise to both of you. I've got no issue. I mean, I don't hate Matt. I don't hate Taffy. In fact, I've barely spoken to Taffy. I've got no issues with Taffy. But at the end of the day, the footage is there. It doesn't look good. So prove to us that it's wrong. Hey Tazer, I hope you're well. At the end of the day, if it's a criminal offence, he has to admit that he's done wrong. If there's a mistake, then why is he hiding away from it? Well, this is my issue, because, like, again, he's uploaded a video. The whole thing is not completely uncut, but pretty much there's no cuts in it at all. But there is one very, very suspicious cut. Just as he's walking up to the door, and he puts his hand out towards the wires, and then we can cut to the CCTV footage, which I've got on my channel, which shows him pulling something. Now, I even said in my original thing, it may not be that. It may not be that he's done that. He may have just, like, I don't know, put his hand up there and check the wire. But that could easily be cleared up in 5 seconds by showing the footage that he has on that. But I suspect, and this is just my opinion, I suspect he won't release that because it shows exactly what the CCTV shows as well. If I'm wrong, like I said, I will apologise. But he has to prove that first. And considering the emails, again, which the emails are very, very public, apart from obviously the personal details, I wasn't rude to him. I wasn't in any way nasty to him. All right? He came out with a lot of accusations about me. I tried to remain as professional as possible. And then when he started getting quite personal, I did shout back with a few things saying, you know, I know this about you as well. I know this about you. And those are the emails I can't show because they do show public stuff. Sorry, not public stuff, personal stuff for me and for him. Not just me, him as well. So I'm not going to share those. But everything else up until that point was very kind of amicable from my side of things. He was quite angry, which I understand. He was quite arsey with me, which again, I understand. I called him out publicly. But he went too far. Yesterday, for example, he hasn't got my details about my work, but he tried to contact what he thinks is my work. And there's a video on this. I've got the copy of the video as well. I've downloaded the copy of the video. Police are involved with that because that in itself is harassment. The fact that he turns around to me and says that I was harassing him, yet I made a public post, he emailed me, and then has continued to email me about 3 times after I've not replied at all, yet I'm the one harassing him. Because I stopped, like after we got quite personal, I stopped. In the last email I sent to him was the one saying that, should I go to the police about that? That's the last email I sent him, and he sent me more since. So I've stopped contact. I'm not contacting him at all. So how am I harassing him? I'm quite entitled to comment about this on here. This is my opinion. And I'm not going to give out any personal details. I wouldn't go that far. But he's taken it to a next level, which is why I've got police involved. They are involved now. Let me check on the chat. I make lovely videos. They're fantastic. What was your initial reaction when you went to the mansion? When the police turned up, did you think of somehow getting out undetected? See, I don't. I mean, the thing is with police, it's like one of those things where by the time you notice them, it's probably already too late. Like unless there's like one Bobby. In that place there was loads. So no, but thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Right, let's look. B, you've checked it out. You can't see what's going on really, therefore no conclusion. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. All right, okay. There are doubts. There are doubts in the footage. I'm not denying that it could be something else. What I'm saying is prove that it isn't what it looks like. Prove that it's something else, and prove that you guys are innocent, because you uploaded that video for a reason. You obviously uploaded the video of the footage for the reason of showing, oh, we were innocent, we didn't do this. Okay. But since then, the footage of the CCTV has come out showing that exact cut in that video, you pulling a wire out. So all you need to do to prove that you didn't do that is show that clip. It's a very tiny thing, is just show that clip to prove you didn't do it, and we can all go on about our daily lives. At the end of the day, if you didn't do it, you didn't do it. If you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to hide. It's like the whole him saying about me spray painting places. I said to him, make a video. Go for it. Go on then. Prove that you think I've been spray painting places, because I can guarantee you there's no evidence, because I've never done that. I think the last time I picked up a spray paint can was like when I was 12 and I was doing Games Workshop. It doesn't take much research to find out that that isn't me. Is this a guy who was lobbing old items down a flight of stairs, which you mentioned? No, that was what's his name? Joe Weller. That was Joe Weller. If nothing went on, then a few would have released unedited footage straight away. Here's a man with a runaway gob. Well, this is it. Like when I go places, I have the GoPro One. It's why, for example, that initial abandoned mansion that sorry, I can't remember the name was AC Bournemouth something. Yeah, was talking about a second ago. That place, the reason why we were not charged with anything, the reason we were allowed to go, etc., is because our entry was proved by the GoPro on my head. And that is what I do whenever we go to places. I start filming before we get to places, for the very reason that if anyone does turn around and say we've done this, we've done that, you can prove it via the footage. That's what the footage is there for. So take that opportunity and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, prove everyone else wrong, and prove that you didn't do what everyone is saying you did. If you can have that proof, then why wouldn't you show it? Unless it shows you exactly what they have been accused of doing. That's what I'm saying. It's not like a hard thing to prove. I'm not biased after all, but all of this, I've stopped watching Urbex videos other than yours about exploring Big Explorer, only channels that seem to be honest and true. Thank you. I mean, I appreciate that. At the end of the day, like I said in my original post, the Urbex community has a bad rap. It does, because it's a grey area when it comes to the law. It's always a difficult thing. So you're always treading a very thin line with legalities and stuff, which is why I record entries and stuff, and why I record you going to places, because it then proves that what you did and what you didn't do. So, and also this year, I think it was this year or last year they started a petition to change the law of civil trespass in the UK. And it's something that's quite important, because if they do change that law, we may not be able to go exploring ever again. All of us, not just me, everybody. And things like this don't help that situation. So as a community, I feel personally like you should denounce that. I mean, I've got no hate. I'm not telling you to not watch Matt. I'm not telling you to not watch Taffy. If you enjoy their content, go and watch them, go subscribe to them. But what I'm saying is that particular incident, maybe, if it is something you shouldn't have done, own up to it and say, shit, I'm sorry, we shouldn't have done this. My bad. It won't happen again. All right? But if you didn't do it, then prove that you didn't do it and just prove your innocence, because that helps not only you, but it helps the community as well to prove that we're not as bad as everyone thinks we are. And that's the problem. I'm saying, you know, we have a bad rap, so why wouldn't you want to prove that you didn't do something you're being accused of? Matt wears a body cam and films weigh-in, etc. He doesn't wear a body cam. What he wears is the what's it called? It's a DJI. Is it Osmo Micro or something like that? It's not a body cam. It's a DJI Osmo or whatever it's called. I know exactly what you're on about. It's a tiny little camera because Warren used to have one. But it's not a body cam. But like I said, this is what I'm saying. The footage is there, and you can tell by the way he's edited the video that most of it is uncut. There's whole portions where he just like doesn't make any cuts at all. So why at that particular moment would you edit and cut that? Because that's what a cut is. What you've done is you've taken that footage, which is unedited and shows everything from start to finish, and you've cut like scissors through the footage and then taken a piece out and then stitched the two together. That's what you do in editing. So at some point he's taken that footage into an editing software. He's made the cut himself. That doesn't automatically just do that. He's made the cut himself. He's deleted some footage there and stitched it with another piece to make it go onto the next frame, whatever. So it isn't an accident. It isn't like, oh, it just glitched and that footage isn't there anymore. That is being cut by Matt when he edited it. So there's the footage that was there. He will still have the original file for. So if he's still got the original file for it, why wouldn't you just release it to prove it? Oh, are you the one that goes into abandoned places? I'd love to do that. I do. My opinion also uses derogatory terms for sexuality in emails as well. This is the self-defense, and they will be acted to McDonald's worker says it's all about his personality. I think I'm not worried about the name calling. At the end of the day, that sort of stuff I will let roll off my back. I'm not worried about it. I'm more concerned with the fact that I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Like, I think what he did was wrong, and I've made that clear. I just don't want to get all this shit because at the end of the day, I'm only pointing out what is already online, and I'm making my opinion heard. I haven't in any way harassed him. I sent him a couple of emails which he replied to. Well, I say he sent me an email and I replied to them. Then I stopped sending emails because he was then horrible about it, and I was like, okay, fine. So I stopped replying, and then he's like contacting my work, trying to give out personal info, and it's like, what? When you get, this is why I released the emails, to show you guys that I wasn't disrespectful to him in any way. The only time I said to him, why you want to adjust your attitude, was when he came at me straight away with some accusation about me spray painting buildings. Where's body cam? In your opinion, anything could have happened. Battery died. No, it's not about. I'm sorry, it's not battery dying. It's not battery dying. It's not. You can tell. You can tell. I've been editing videos for a decade. I said you can tell the difference between a battery dying and someone making a cut in a video. It's not battery dying. So I'm sorry, it's not. And if he wears a body cam, like I said, if he's got DJI and his body cam, what, both cameras' batteries died at the same time, did they? No, that's not how it works. Gotta go shop cooling. What? If he wears body cam as well, he should have no issue proving. Exactly, yeah. If he's got two cameras set up to show the footage, even if one died, what, the other one died as well? There's two cameras there proving that his innocence, but he's not going to show it because he's not. Allegedly. But that's what I'm saying. If he can prove it and he can show the footage and show that he didn't do that, I will happily and publicly apologise. I said I have got no issue. I'm not trying to hide anything in here at all. This is why I've released the emails, because I'm not in any way trying to hide stuff. I'll happily have an open conversation with you guys about it, whether I agree with you or not, whether you agree with me or not. I mean, the mods, for example, today, the mods that are here, they are only here to block personal content. So if anyone tries to put out addresses, phone numbers, that kind of stuff, they are not here to block people's comments. If you don't agree with me and you want to say so, go right ahead. I said, but people who are going to release personal stuff, then sure, I'm going to block from that, because at the end of the day, it's not. It might not be my stuff. It might be Matt's stuff as well. No one should be putting out personal stuff on the internet, and that's why, like I said, police are involved with what Matt did about ringing my supposed work. But has anyone got any other questions they want to ask? Because like I said, I mean, all the details are out there. I'm in two minds. I will say I'm in two minds about doing a video at the moment. Like I said, police are involved now, so I'm still wondering about doing a video. I think all the information I want to get out there is already out there, so I'm not 100% as to whether it's worth my time making one. I've said my piece. I've said what I think Matt should do and what Taffy should do, and I got no issue with either of them personally. Yeah, they seem to have an issue with me. They've said a few things personal about me, which is fine. At the end of the day, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't think we were ever going to be friends, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It depends on what they do, because I know that obviously Taffy is going to be releasing a video on Friday. And again, I will just say this straight off the bat for full transparency. If there is stuff in that video that I deem to be too personal, I will be contacting police about it, and I will have the video removed. Because it depends. If it's stuff to do with the situation, fine. But if it's stuff about my family, stuff about my work, stuff about where I live, personal stuff, I will have it flagged and I will have the police involved. And I think that's fair enough, because at the end of the day, if I was to make a video on Matt or Taffy or whatever, I would concentrate on the facts I had that were online already. I wouldn't ever go and make a video and give out personal information about them. Never. So that, I'll just pre-warning, that's what I'm going to say. That's what's going to happen if, for example, there is too much personal stuff in that video. If it's just based on the emails I've released, stuff that's public knowledge or whatever, fine. But if it's going to start getting personal about my family, about my job, about anything like that, it's going to end badly for them. At the end of the day, which is what he said to me. I will contact police. I've told you exactly what I do. When I say I'm going to end badly, it's not like a threat. It's literally going to be, I'm going to get police involved and I will get the video removed. Simple as. Well, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing I was reading earlier. What thing? Why on earth did he end up? He tried to contact my work. That says it already. Exactly. This is the thing. Like I haven't gone round and done stuff like that. I haven't made things too personal. The only thing I did was send him a picture of his car with his number plate. That was it, and that was after he turned round to me already and told me where he thinks I work. So it was like, well, you know stuff about me. Here, I know stuff about you. That was kind of it. But I haven't done anything with that information, and I wouldn't either. I wouldn't share it. I wouldn't go as far as he's gone as to like contact somebody he knows or his work or whatever. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not malicious. And that is what I deem his actions as, malicious, because it's going too far. Why are you involved in the first place? So at the end of the day, my first initial post was saying how I didn't agree with what was done. And that initial post there's nothing wrong with. I say I'm part of the Urbex community and I'm quite entitled to turn around and say if I don't agree with something. If he doesn't like that, that's fair enough. At the end of the day, I didn't like the fact that he appears to have done what he did. Okay, maybe I didn't need to get involved in terms of making a video, and like I said, I probably won't make a video. It depends on what they do now. But in terms of me saying whether I think something is bullshit or not, I don't have any issue at all with what I said. What I said was fine, because it was. If it is true what they've shown in that video, what they have done is wrong. It's as simple as that, and I'm quite entitled as a member of the community to say That's bullshit. And I'm not the only person as well. I'm the only person who's done it on a public platform in terms of YouTube. But actually, all over Facebook, there are people doing the same thing. In fact, there's another guy actually, what's his name? Curbs Vids, who apparently has issues with Matt as well, who's also released the footage. So I'm not the only person to do this. It's the community itself. A lot of them are annoyed and want to make it known that they don't agree with this. And that is what I did. So, yeah, I don't see an issue with that at all. No Matt Reg, no big deal. Look, Coachman, at the end of the day, I understand you like Matt. That's fine, right? All I'm asking you to do is look at the stuff in front of you and make an informed decision. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. That's not a problem at all. At the end of the day, the world is made up of people with a difference of opinion. But everyone's entitled to their own. So you're entitled to yours, I'm entitled to mine, and Matt's entitled to his. Simple as. That's crossing the line when you involve people's work or home. Exactly, that's off limits. Love your videos, explorations. Hope you do myself one day. Curbs are very messed up. I don't know Curbs. I haven't. I literally spoke to him briefly yesterday for the first time. I don't know him. I got somebody recommended that I speak to him, so I did, and that is it. But then I saw he'd shared the videos. But that's what I'm saying. It isn't just me getting involved. People on Facebook are literally been blasting for months and months about this, sharing it everywhere. Somebody else on YouTube has, I have too. It's not a new thing. It's just me saying, I don't agree with this. That's literally it. Trying to contact your work in his narcissistic way of trying to ruin your life. That's really low life behaviour. It's pretty obvious he is jealous of your good reputation. He is well known to the police. Kels was a little pal who used to go around with Matt sharing points until an argument. Curbs has been charged for breaking and stealing from the same place. It sounds like you have a chip on your shoulder. At the end of the day, you're entitled to that opinion if you think so. That's fine. I don't know Matt, so I don't have a chip on my shoulder about anything, really. I don't know him that well. All I know is what was shared on social media, and that is what I'm commenting on. The stuff on social media, which is what not, I don't think is acceptable. At the end of the day, I don't have a personal issue with Matt. I do agree with some of the comments about the fact I think he's a bit of a narcissist and he wants control of his situation all the time, which is fine. I understand why he wouldn't want to do the video on my channel because I do have control over it. I do have control about the editing, what people see, etc. I totally get that. But at the same time, I don't have an issue with Matt. I've said it, a few times it's been brought up in podcasts, and a few times I've said, do you know what, I said he's alright. I said he seems alright. I don't personally know him. In fact, you can go back and look at the archive of other streams I've done, and I've said I don't personally know him, but he seems alright. And I think I said the only thing I didn't agree with is the fact that he gives away the location names in his titles. And I think that's previously recorded and logged on my YouTube channel. You can go back and check it and find it if you want somewhere. But that is the only thing I've ever said about Matt. And I'm saying now I don't have an issue with Matt. But what they are being accused of, if it is true, I do have an issue with. And that is what I'm asking them to prove. Just prove it. And if you are right, I will apologise. I don't know how simple I can make it. Literally, if there's nothing to be scared of, there's nothing to hide, prove it, and sure, we can all go on with our lives. Williams has only had that body camera for the past few weeks. Also, Volts makes videos about people giving their address out and their details, but when someone wants to do it to him, it's not allowed. He hasn't got a chip on his shoulder. He said his opinion on the video he saw, and then it was Matt that kicked it all off. Exactly. I've only read two things that come up. I'll watch it on there now. This is it. It's not a personal vendetta against Matt. Like, I don't have an issue with him. All right. I imagine. I mean, to be fair, right? When I went back through his footage for that place, and I took out the snippets to show like how the timeline played out and put the CCTV footage in it, I watched the entire video and I laughed at quite a lot of it. It was quite funny. I don't have an issue with Matt. I'm really not. This isn't a personal thing. It's just when it's the Urbex community and we have such a bad reputation anyway, you have to kind of point out, look, mate, this is not on. You can't do that. That's not on. And vice versa, the person who did that should go, shit, you know, that was too far. I'm sorry. And it's very simple. and that's all it takes. I'm not in it to get him, you know, I'm not in it to take his YouTube channel down. I'm not in it to get him press charges or whatever. I don't care. I just want him to acknowledge that that wasn't right, and to prove if he thinks I am wrong and everyone else is wrong, fine, prove it, and I will apologise. I will apologise. I'm telling you now. I've done it what 6, 7 times now. I will publicly apologise to Matt and to Taffy if they can prove that they didn't do what it shows in the videos, and that stands for both of them at the end of the day. Want to coach when you know people can easily edit footage out of places smashing stuff. Who even is Matt and what's his channel called? So I'm not gonna give it. I mean, there's no point in digging about details because it's already obviously on my channel anyway. But if you want to check out all the details, go check out the community tab on the channel because it's all on there. I find it funny he makes videos about people, slags them off, gives them details out, and then as soon as someone wants to do it to him, he doesn't like it. And this is the thing. Like this is why I did say I do agree with some of the comments about it being narcissistic, because that is what a narcissist does. They want control of that whole situation, but as soon as it's flipped on them, then they go mad. So that is very narcissistic. So I do agree with that, but at the end of the day, I can also understand why he's annoyed, because I publicly called him out. I didn't message him. I totally understand that. I didn't message him privately and say to him, you know, blah blah blah, what's all this, is this true, etc. So maybe that was my fault. But at the same time, everything that's happened since then, I've tried to be as amicable as possible, and he's gone to the extreme, in my opinion. Nathan, you are true credit to the Urbex community yourself. Colin and what you're after are the only ones that show any bit of respect, and the banned places leave all the items as they were left. Respect. Oh, Matt, hello. I'm not prostrating myself before you. Sorry, what? Do you mean protesting? At the end of the day, Matt, like I said, I've got no issue with you personally, right? But all I've ever said is that what was done doesn't look good. And all I'm asking you to do, not necessarily to me, you can do it to your audience or whatever, is prove that they're wrong. And if they're wrong, then I'll say sorry. It's as simple as that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But it's a very simple thing to do, isn't it? Just to prove with that bit of footage that you didn't do what you said you did, or what they have said you've done. Well known by police and military for breaking into MOD properties. Just show the raw footage, Matthew. Yeah, exactly. Just show the raw footage. It's not a big deal, is it? At the end of the day, if it's not a problem, if it shows your innocence, then there's no problem showing it, is there? Really? Love slack people off his channel, curbs, Bino, etc. When they go to himself, he doesn't like it. He's a joke. He loves to be admired, to hold an audience for his historical knowledge. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, when watching that video that I cut together, I laughed. He was entertaining. I enjoyed it. It was good fun. It was only the bit at the end that I was a bit like, well, I've deleted nothing on here from you, Matt. Is he saying you're deleting stuff? Yeah, he's not deleted it. I can see the comment. It says I'm not prostrating myself before you. I think it says or maybe prostating. I don't know. Big words, as you've already pointed out. My emails, I apparently don't have much of a brain, so. You're even going after trying now to delete videos that are even on private because you can't handle what I said. No, actually, that's part of a police investigation, because what you did in that, although it's not my work, is still harassment and malicious content that you've uploaded to the internet. Whether it's private or not, it's unlisted, and anyone with that link can see that video. So it's up to you there, whoever sees that link. You could send that to anybody. I don't know who you're sending that to. So it may not be public, but it's certainly not private. So yeah, that's police are involved with that. So that is why I asked to have it taken down. And I've also taken a copy of it as well. So that will be used as police evidence. So yes, I have asked to have that taken down. There was one above that Tazer. I didn't see that one, sorry. Probably had your comment deleted by Google for using swear words, Matt. Happens to me a lot. This is all about you and you getting involved in somebody else's business, and you're not going to like how it ends up. So I'm going to screenshot that one because that's a nice little thing there. Thanks for that, mate. That can be passed on to police as well. No, Matt, it's Urbex community business and it's just releasable footage and put it straight. Exactly. It's not, okay, I'm the one that's speaking up about it, but this could be anybody. This could be anybody involved in the Urbex community. I've seen comments on Facebook of, is it Han something, right? Han Tank or something? Commenting on this and sharing this, and you basically just calling her a bellend. There's lots of people, it's not just me, lots of people have commented on this and had their say on it, and that's what I've done. I've had my say on it, and you don't like it, which is fair enough. If you don't like my comment or my opinion, fine. But at the end of the day, I've said in this live stream I'm not going to make a video now because it depends on, well, one, police are involved anyway, and two, I'm happy that all the information that is out there, it shows the whole thing anyway. So if you want to prove otherwise and prove that we're all wrong, release the footage. It's very, very simple. But I'm not doing anything else on more of this. This today is the last thing I'm going to do unless you guys want to go to further than that. It's up to you. It's not hard. You're a clever man, Matt. Just put the raw footage out and shut us all up, and then you can sit down and be smug. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Release the footage of the school in the edited footage, showing true colours, Matt. You don't show how many times I've been involved with police over the years and how it doesn't end very well for the other person on the other side, so please bring the police. I mean, you are on a public forum, mate, and you are pushing this all out. And I do know how much you've been involved with the police because I've got a list of all the times that you've had, what's the word? The Public Information Act or whatever it is. You've asked for public information and it gives all that stuff as well. So, yeah. Who's been sharing the start and who's going to end this in the end? And trust me, mate, you're not going to get very well liked after this. I'm not in it to be liked, mate. At the end of the day, if I was in it to be liked, I'd have been like, "Oh, Matt, you've got so many subs. Please collab with me." I'm not bothered, right? At the end of the day, this is me giving my opinion, and you don't like it. That is the simple, that is the simple facts of it. I'm giving my opinion, and you don't like it, which is fine. I've got no issue with that at all. And like I said to you in the emails, I'm not going to force you to come on the show. And no, I'm not making a show because at the end of the day, police are involved. It's going too far. All the information that needs to be out there is already out there. So I'm not going to add anything else to it. So there's not very much point. I think if anyone's showing their true colours, Matt, it is you. You are showing your true colours publicly and embarrassing yourself. Very sad little man. Funny how it's been arrested a lot with police. Looks like a lot of people like you. Thank you. Needs to cuddle. Needs to cuddle, yeah. Did you want to cuddle? Is that what you want, Matt? Did you want to cuddle? I'll happily give you a cuddle if you want. Yeah, that's exactly why. Because we get done for criminal damage, yeah. That is exactly why. Anyway, I'm going to give it another few minutes. I'm going to call it there because I think we've said enough at the end of the day. Like I said, this is the final thing I'm going to say on it. I think everything that I need to say is out there. I do have other information about said person, but I don't think I need to go down that route. At the end of the day, it's not something that I'm not interested in causing issues with people. I initially wanted a conversation with Matt and the security company and Taffy all in one place. That was initially it. So we could like chat, talk about it. He obviously doesn't want to do that, so fine. I will say obviously the police are involved now, so that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to go any more into this. The information is all out there. If you want to check it out, please do. British Air 51. That be face has sent unedited footage of the school CCTV to people who don't know where that footage has gone. Yeah, see here I don't know much about. Beeface, I don't know who he is. Like I've not seen him before. Like I saw the video obviously and saw there was a guy. I don't know his name was actually Beeface or whatever, but yeah, obviously the balaclava on his face. But I don't know who he is. I've no idea. From what I can tell though, he He only went up to the wires after Matt pulled them and looked at them. I haven't seen him doing anything else at all. Shows this taffy in the vaults pulling it down. This is because Greedy Security Company made false accusations of damage. The thing is, it's not about the damage, right? Even if the cameras themselves aren't broken, that is still counted as criminal damage because you're still interacting with something that isn't yours. So that's criminal damage. So, for example, I could, I don't know, push a door and it comes off the hinges, and that technically is criminal damage because of the fact that if I hadn't pushed it, it wouldn't have broken. But what they did is obviously mess with wires and stuff and pull a camera down or whatever. That is still criminal damage, whether it's damaged or not. I am not here to say how much the equipment was worth. I know that they've been, or something they've been billed for about £600. They're probably 100% right. £600 is probably not the right amount. That's probably completely overblown and ridiculous. I will happily say that. But what they did is still wrong. If it was worth 10 quid, it was still wrong. False accusations of no, the damage actually happened. Watch the unedited footage and the CCTV footage. Cheers for clearing up, Taze. Looking forward to your next Explore. Yeah, talking of that, actually, next Explore is coming tomorrow. I'm rendering it right now, so it's going to be up soon. But yeah, I just wanted to get this out of the way and basically close the chapter, because this is where I'm going to leave it until whatever happens with them. It's totally up to them from this point on where this goes. Obviously, police are involved for Matt's ringing up of my work. But apart from that, I'm not taking this any further. So we're back onto normal Explore videos. I've said my piece. That's all needs to be said. Cameras nowadays are worth £30, £50, not cheap. Cable is expensive. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not here to talk about the value. I assume there is some value behind the equipment, but to me, that's less important than the act itself. It shouldn't. You've touched loads of things in abandoned buildings. Yeah, but I didn't rip anything off the wall. I've never ripped anything off the wall. I may have picked up like a jar or something and put it down where I found it. I don't move stuff. I don't like rip things off walls or unplug cables if they're there, or I don't know. I don't know if they're ripped or unplugged or whatever. But I don't do that kind of stuff. I wouldn't like pull something down. I mean, you'll see in videos as well. I'll pick something up and have a look at it, and I'll try and put it back down exactly where I found it. Exactly where I found it. Cables cost a lot of money. One of my basic expenses, £40 to £50 for SDI cables. Yeah, I don't pretend to know the details about how much they cost. I'll be honest. So yeah, like I say, a couple more minutes, and then we're going to call it there, because I think we've said enough. Or you don't knock holes in walls to find a bone. No, exactly, I don't. I mean, again, that's nothing to do with Matt. Said, I think it was Coachman actually, who was in the chat earlier on, said something about exploring with fighters, and I think just because there's a slight link to exploring with fighters, like they know each other, people think that's why I'm getting on this. But honestly, I didn't even know that he'd done any videos with exploring with fighters. I don't generally watch either of their content. It wasn't until I actually looked on his about page, and he's got Exploring with Fighters and Dark Arts Paranormal linked on there, and Ali Law, that I was like, oh, there's a connection. That was literally the first I knew of it. Right. If anyone has any more questions, now is the time to ask. Otherwise, I am going to go finish the video for tomorrow, and we will continue with the normal explores. Piles of cables from the cameras in that school. See, I heard that accusation. I did hear that there was lots of wires and stuff like that of cables, and he tripped over. But I can't see much of that. There's a bit. I'll give it that. There is a bit, but I can't see anything like that in Matt's video. Because if you look at Matt's video, it's obviously much better quality than the CCTV thing. And in his video, I can't see that much wires. I'll give it, there's some, but I don't think enough to trip over, to be honest. Allegedly. Yeah, this is all allegedly. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is this is what it appears to show. If it doesn't appear to show that, prove us wrong. And I will apologise. I will outwardly apologise openly and publicly. How old is the bone? Grow up. Yeah, I mean, we can let the bone go. At the end of the day, it has been a while. The Urbex Mafia. That is a good Urbex name. The thing is, like I said, like I said at the time of exploring with fighters as well. Like I don't have an issue with him personally. Like I don't like him. I'll be honest. I don't like him. We're not friends. Do I hate him? No. Do I hate Matt? No. I don't hate any of them. But they both did stuff that was bullshit, basically, and I said so at the time. That's all there is to it. I'm entitled to my opinion. If you think I'm not, then that's fine. But maybe hit the unsubscribe button, because at the end of the day, I am entitled to an opinion, just like you're entitled to an opinion, and Matt's entitled to an opinion. Everyone is, and it is an OX community thing, as someone said already. So, yeah, if you don't like that, that's fine. Just hit unsubscribe. You haven't got to watch me. I'm not forcing you to. It's fine. Dan's videos are great. In my opinion, not so much. Right, anyway, I am going to leave it there. I think, like I said, we're going around in circles now. So, thank you for watching. Please don't send any hate across to Matt or Taffy or anyone else. I'm not encouraging that. I don't want to start a massive argument. Like I said, this is the last I'm going to say on it, pending what they do next. So yeah, I'm done for the time being. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. See you later.